Hello everybody, my name is Tom Seidner, the Lonely Gamer, and among all of my different hobbies, one of the hobbies that I have besides board games is collecting vintage action figures from when I was a kid. And one of the lines that I like to collect is the He-man line here. I buy a lot of He-man figures off eBay and garage sales and flea markets and stuff, and sometimes when I get them they come in looking like this guy. So if you look at him you can see that he's very yellowed from being in the sun. I'll give you a close-up here so you can see that he's very yellowed. And you can tell from his arms here that he was originally blue and then he's just gotten yellow. This is where the arm had covered that and it was protected from the sun. So what I'm going to attempt to do today is I'm going to attempt to take this yellow out of this figure. Now, I do want to note that this is a hard head Skeletor, so it is almost impossible to get this head off of here. So I'm going to attempt to do this with the head on, and that's unusual. So normally what you would do is you would just take the head off, you would fill a container with hydrogen peroxide, you'd stick them down in the hydrogen peroxide, you'd put it in the sun or in some heat for a while and then take it out, and it should remove this yellow. But because this is a hard head and I can't get this head off, I'm going to attempt to do this another way and we're going to see how this works. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this Salon Care 40 that I purchased at Sally's Beauty Supply here in Springfield, and it was only like $5 for this huge thing of it. You can get this on Amazon, but it's actually a little more expensive if you get it on Amazon. But if you just hop down to Sally's, they'll fix you up for about $5 for a big thing of this. And this is really actually just a highly concentrated hydrogen peroxide in a paste form, and so this paste form is going to allow me to put this on the figure and have it just be in the areas that I want it to be. Now, I'm also going to attempt to put a plastic bag over Skeletor's head as well to try to protect it. I'm not sure what it would do to the paint if I put it in there unprotected, but I'm going to go ahead and just put a plastic bag on there and hopefully that will help. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to put this plastic bag on his head. I'm going to actually flip it inside out like this so that I can put it over his head and put a rubber band around it. And then I'm going to flip it back up like that so that I have as much exposed skin as I can. I don't want the bag getting in the way of it actually taking the yellow off, so I figure if I do it this way that will help keep the activator off of the head and also let me get up underneath here as much as possible to get to the body. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some activator on this body. Yeah, that stuff is very thick. You can see it coming out of there, which is really good because that's what we want, because we want the activator to stay where we put the activator. So I'm going to take my brush here. This is just an old crappy brush, and I'm just going to put some activator all over his body where I want the yellow to go away. I'm going to try to keep it off of the parts of the body that I don't want to have anything happen to, but I really don't think this would hurt the rest of the body, but we're going to go ahead and just smother them up real good. I've seen people do this online for different stuff like air conditioner vents and stuff like that, and they just load it on, and that's what I'm going to do with old Skeletor here. So hopefully, you know, I hate to make Skeletor sad, but hopefully when we get done he'll be very blue. Okay, so now I've got the activator slathered on pretty good. You can see that I've got a pretty heavy coat of activator all over it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place Skeletor in a bag, because there's some talk on the internet that it's actually the gases that's created from this stuff that actually removes the yellowing. In fact, there was an experiment done where the guy put an item on top of a pedestal that was actually in some hydrogen peroxide, and it wasn't even in the peroxide, and it actually took some of the yellow out. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put Skeletor in this Ziploc bag so that he's in a airtight environment. I'm going to put him down here towards the end so that this area here doesn't affect the unyellowing process, and I'm also going to flip him over in the middle of the process. So I'm going to use my spare Tarantula enclosure to actually do this, and I'm actually going to use my Tarantula heating lamp for the i.e. sun. So most people will take this out and put it in the sun. It's like 4 degrees outside right now here, and it is sunny, but I'm not sure that it's going to work very well, because there's a big debate on whether or not it's the actual sun rays or the heat that actually causes this process to work. So this will actually give us both. This will give us the same rays as the sun plus the heat. So I'm going to use this instead. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place Skeletor on this log in this enclosure. I'm going to put this lid back on so that I have some place to set the lamp. I'm going to set my heat lamp right over the top of Skeletor, and I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Alright, so Skeletor is now inside the enclosure. He's got the heat lamp on him. I'm going to let this stay on him for about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to flip him over and let this stay on him for another 30 minutes. And then I will check it. And if it looks like it's working or it needs more, then I'll flip him back over. I'm going to do this 30 minutes at a time because I want to be able to check the figure. I don't really want to damage this figure. It's a nice figure. So I'm going to check it periodically. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the tape. And I'll be back when it's all said and done, and I'll show you the results. Alright, well, here we go. I've got the figure out, and take a look at this. This is absolutely incredible. I'm going to hold this up to the camera, and I'll go ahead and I'll do a side-by-side comparison of the two different figures, and you can see an absolutely huge difference. This guy is actually blue again. Originally he was green, but now he's blue. And the most amazing thing is the fact that his back is blue. And you know what? I never turned him over. I just kept checking him and checking him, and it took a really, really long time. To be honest with you, it took 16 hours to turn this guy from green back to blue. But let me tell you something. It actually worked. So, if you've got some action figures or anything that's become yellowed because of the sun, and as long as it's something that can hold up to some heat, and it's not really a lot of heat, I think it's probably about maybe 100 degrees under that heat lamp, then you can use this Salon Care 40 and put some on and turn them back to their original color. And it doesn't even take out, the first thing I was worried about, that it was actually going to turn it white, because I think this is a bleaching agent, but it doesn't. It turns it right back to the original color, as you can see there, and it's absolutely amazing. So there you go, guys. I was able to turn my Skeletor from green to blue, and I'm very happy about that, and hope you guys are able to get some success with this as well. And that's it, and I'll see you in the next video. This video was provided by The Lonely Gamer. To see more of our news, reviews, and videos, please visit us at lonelytabletopgamer.com. That I purchased at Sally's beauty salon. That I purchased at